Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Out of the 10 key lessons from the book The Prince, we have already presented the first 5 points. Today, we will be presenting the remaining 5 points. Number 6. Choose wise advisors and avoid flatterers. Machiavelli states, "The intellect of a leader can be judged by looking at the advisors they choose." One of the main reasons most leaders fall is because they enjoy the words of flatterers. A leader must surround themselves with wise advisors who dare to speak the truth bravely. However, if you allow everyone to criticize you freely at all times, your respect and authority will decline. Therefore, you must apply the rule. Advisors are only permitted to tell the truth when the leader specifically asks. A story of the emperor and the right clothes. Once upon a time, there was a king in an ancient kingdom. The flattering ministers, no matter what the king did or what he wore, they never told the truth and constantly showered him with empty praise. Even when the king wore ridiculous clothes, they said, "Your Majesty, what you are wearing is as beautiful as an abstract painting." As a result, the king became a laughingstock and was seen as foolish whenever he appeared before his people. The wise advisor. Later, the king appointed a wise man who only spoke the truth as his advisor. Whenever the king made a mistake, that advisor would warn him in private, saying, "Your Majesty, this decision is not good for the kingdom. It should be corrected like this." Thanks to such good advice, the king made fewer mistakes and governed effectively. The lesson. Surrounding yourself with loyal people who dare to bravely point out your mistakes, rather than those who always flatter you with, "Yes, it's beautiful, you're amazing," is the only thing that keeps a leader free from error. Number 7. Avoid being hated and despised. Machiavelli strongly warns that making yourself feared and respected and being hated are entirely different things. The most dangerous thing for a leader is to face the hatred and arrogant contempt of the people. There are 2 primary reasons that cause people to hate a ruler: unjustly seizing the property and wealth of the citizens, violating or molesting the families and women of the citizens. Machiavelli famously stated, "A man might sooner forget the death of his father than the loss of his patrimony, property." Therefore, as long as you do not touch the people's property and dignity, hatred toward the leader will not arise. A story of the dethroned king's plunder. Once upon a time, there was a king in an ancient kingdom. In the beginning, although he enforced strict discipline, the people respected him because the country was peaceful. Later on, however, the king became drunk on luxury and began forcibly seizing the houses, land, gold, and silver of merchants, wealthy citizens, and ordinary people under various pretexts. When that happened, the people no longer felt respect or awe toward the king. Instead, they became filled with bitter hatred. The moment an opportunity arose, they joined forces with royal rebels and assassins, violently overthrowing the king from his throne once and for all. The lesson. In leadership and management, you must never forcibly infringe upon or violate the valuable property, rights, and dignity of your subordinates or clients. Once hatred takes root, no matter how much power you possess, you will not be able to survive in the long run. Number 8. Appearances matter more than reality. Machiavelli states, "Most people judge more by the eye than by the hand." This means everyone sees what a leader appears to be on the outside, while only a few close individuals know the true nature of their inner character. Therefore, a leader must be able to project an image of being compassionate, faithful, religious, and kind for the public to see. Even if circumstances force you to make a decision that is cruel or untruthful, you must still maintain and display a good public image, showing that it was an unavoidable act done solely for the greater good of the nation. A story of the two fruit sellers in the market. Once upon a time, there were two fruit sellers in a city market. The first seller, he laid his fruits out messily and carelessly on his trays. Although the fruits themselves were extremely sweet and delicious, they looked unappealing, with dust coating the outside. As long as people hadn't tasted their true flavor, most shoppers passed right by his stall without buying anything. The second seller, he wiped his fruits clean, decorated the front of his shop, and presented them so they glistened brightly. The moment people saw them, they believed these fruits must be so fresh and good, and rushed in to buy them. The lesson: in business, leadership, and society, while having real quality is essential, systematically presenting that quality so the surrounding world trusts and accepts it is equally indispensable. If your public image is ruined, it will be extremely difficult for others to recognize your true good intentions. Number 9. Never remain neutral. Take a clear side. Machiavelli states, when two powerful neighboring states go to war, remaining neutral as a leader is the most dangerous path you can take. If a ruler stays neutral, once the war ends, the winning side will bully you for being unfaithful and unhelpful, while the losing side will harbor hatred toward you. You will be left with no allies at all, becoming an enemy to both sides. Therefore, making a firm, visionary choice to side with one party and courageously offering help is the better path. If your side wins, you gain profits and a strong ally. Even if your side loses, you remain a loyal ally who shared in their hardship, allowing you to rise together again in the long run. A story of the little bird in the forest.
Once upon a time, a great war broke out in a forest between a lion pride and a wolf pack.
The little bird. He thought, I won't join either side. I'll just sit peacefully in the middle, and watched from a tree branch. After the battle, the lion pride emerged victorious. When the king lion saw the little bird, he said, while we were fighting, you sat there watching without helping at all, and hunted him down to eat him. Meanwhile, the defeated wolves also felt bitter toward the little bird, thinking, if only you had helped us even a little bit with water, we could have won. Another bird. However, another bird fully assisted the lions by giving them tactical advice. Because of this, after the battle, he was recognized as a true ally and was granted the right to live safely across the entire forest. The lesson: in business, the workplace, and strategic alliances, sitting on the fence and remaining neutral can leave you completely isolated. Making decisive choices and courageously demonstrating your stance and allegiance is the only way to forge trustworthy allies in the long run. Number 10. Adapt to the times. Machiavelli's ultimate concluding principle is this: a leader's downfall comes from refusing to change their mindset and strategies in accordance with changing times. Most leaders stubbornly cling to a single method just because it brought them success in the past. However, the world and the flow of time are constantly changing. In a calm and peaceful era, exercising extreme caution leads to success. But in a fast-changing, turbulent era, only decisive boldness will yield victory. Therefore, a true leader must adapt their tactics and strategies to fit the time, place, and circumstances as the situation demands. A story of the river waters and the two boat captains. Once upon a time, there were two boat captains on a river with strong currents. The first boat captain. For years, he had mastered only one way of sailing, the method used during the calm winds of summer. One day, a fierce storm hit, and the waves raged. Sticking to his old ways, he kept the sails tied tight, just as he did in summer. As a result, his boat capsized and was completely destroyed. The second boat captain. When the winds were calm, he rowed slowly and steadily. But when the storm arrived, he immediately slackened the sails, cleverly turned the bow of his boat, and rowed with the flow of the waves. Because he adapted smoothly to the conditions, he navigated through the stormy waters safely. The lesson. In business, technology, and life, you cannot remain trapped in the mold of past accomplishments, thinking, well, doing it this way worked in the past. When conditions, eras, and the surrounding environment shift, you must quickly adapt your thinking, strategy, and execution.
Lastly, I'll leave you with a quote by Niccolò Machiavelli. When a snake has no venom, people will use it like a piece of rope. A venomless snake simply means a person with no capability.
Thank you so much to all our listeners for tuning in. Niccolò Machiavelli's The Prince is truly a beacon of light that helps us gain deeply practical insights into leadership, power dynamics, and human nature. We hope the 10 points presented today will help you think strategically in your business, leadership, and life journey. We will continue to bring you summarized insights from world-famous classic books and fascinating knowledge in a pleasant and engaging voice. So don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. May you all craft the best version of your lives, filled with boundless success. Thank you.